If you are incapable of cruelty, you are not a good man, you are merely a weak one. We are raised to be architects of our own restraint. From the moment we first learn to speak, society hands us a chisel and orders us to carve away the rough edges of our nature. We are told to be polite, to be agreeable, to be harmless. We construct a sanitized avatar of ourselves, a smiling, civilized creature that walks in the sunlight, shakes hands firmly, and speaks in measured tones. We spend decades polishing this mask, believing that if we bury our aggression deep enough, if we starve our darker impulses into silence, we will finally become good men. But the psyche is not a landfill. Nothing buried truly dies. It merely waits, decomposing in the dark, turning into gas, pressure, and inevitable fire. You feel it, don't you? That quiet, subterranean hum beneath the floorboards of your perfectly curated life. It is the friction between who you pretend to be and who you actually are. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the disowned, rejected fragments of your personality that you deemed unacceptable. It is your rage, your lust, your ambition.
Gentlemen, this is how
your capacity for cruelty and your primal desire for dominance.
Are non-negotiable.
You locked these traits in the basement of your mind to be a functional member of society. But while you were upstairs playing the role of the nice guy, the shadow was downstairs doing push-ups. It was growing stronger on a diet of your resentment. The modern man suffers from a specific kind of spiritual anemia. He believes that virtue is the absence of vice. He believes that because he has never thrown a punch, he is peaceful. He believes that because he has never demanded what he wants, he is selfless. This is a catastrophic lie. A rabbit is not virtuous because it does not eat the wolf. It is simply harmless. And in the eyes of history and nature, harmlessness is not a virtue. It is a vulnerability.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
If you are incapable of cruelty, you are not a good man. You are merely a weak one. True morality is not the lack of dangerous teeth. It is having the capacity to tear the world apart. And the discipline to keep your mouth shut. When you ignore the shadow, it does not disappear. It operates autonomously. It manifests in your life as sudden outbursts of irrational anger, as a paralyzing depression that drains the color from your world, or as a creeping bitter envy when you watch others succeed. This is the revenge of the repressed. The man who refuses to acknowledge his capacity for evil is often the one who causes the most damage, usually to himself. He becomes a vessel of passive aggression, leaking poison into his relationships. Because he lacks the courage to engage in honest conflict. He is possessed by the very demons he claimed didn't exist. The path to true strength, the kind of strength that commands respect without speaking. Requires a descent into the underworld. You must walk down the stairs into that damp, dark cellar and look the monster in the eye. You must acknowledge that within you lies the potential for absolute malevolence. You are not a saint, you are a dangerous animal wearing a suit. This realization is terrifying, but it is also liberating. Because once you admit that you have a dark side, you can stop being its slave and start becoming its master. This is the process of integration. It is not about letting the monster roam free to destroy your life. It is about putting a collar on the beast and harnessing its power. That aggression you hid, that is your drive. That selfishness you suppressed, that is your self-preservation. That desire for dominance, that is your leadership. The shadow contains all the raw nuclear energy of your psyche. Without it, you are lifeless, boring, and impotent. With it, you are a force of nature. Consider the most respected men in history or fiction. They are not soft. They possess a latent threat, a dormant volcano that could erupt, but chooses not to. There is a serenity in them, but it is the serenity of a loaded weapon on a table, not a pillow. This is the balance you must seek. You must fuse the civilized man with the primal savage. You must fuse the civilized man with the primal savage. You must be able to write poetry and wage war. You must be kind, not because you are afraid of the confrontation, but because you have calculated that kindness is the superior strategy. Stop trying to be a good man by society's fragile definition. Stop apologizing for your hunger. Stop shrinking to fit into rooms that are too small for your ambition. Go into the dark. Find the parts of yourself you were taught to hate. Wash them off, drag them into the light, and put them to work. The world does not need more harmless men. It needs monsters who have learned to control themselves. It needs dangerous men who have chosen to be protectors. Embrace the shadow or it will consume you. The choice is not between light and dark. The choice is between being whole or being broken.